Microphone is working. All right. So, week 2. This quarter's flying by. Choose Your Project site is due at the end of the week. So, any questions again on that? No? Good.
Mike, real quick.
Yeah.
The existing sites that we should have all created or have created when we start moving into this, do you want us on our, when we've got our staging site ready for the project site, to just link it up and just as the HTML, not the HTML?
Here's the question, or here's the answer. So, spring 2016. You good with that?
Yeah.
So what Milo did was he put a thing for templates and he linked to index.html and services.html, which then I can see that he took his Web200 project and used the index.html. Did you convert your prototype into a template then, the way your end prototype?
The demo one, or the?
Regardless, never mind, doesn't matter. So in other words, one way, shape, or form, Jonathan, then he has the home page that has, excuse me, the things that needs to have. If I go back and go to code, he then has. Yeah, but you have a repository that you are then going to put your templates inside. And again, if you want to make just one WEB170 repository, right, versus, here's what I'm saying, on your client staging area or your portal page or whatever, one way, shape, or form, I want to be able to see your templates from a visual standpoint, and I want to see it from a code GitHub standpoint. One way, shape, or form, if he has, instead of proto site, it labeled demo, sounds good to me. It's clear enough. I can understand what's going on here. And if I go to, I wouldn't say index.php generally, but whatever, that's fine if you want to. And so he is linked to the demo that we set up on Monday, right? And then again, because this is going to change. So we've set up our demo, and we are going to now add 2 each week to that demo. So we're going to add, today I am going to show you how to, so that makes sense, Jonathan, that's your question? Okay. Yeah. So today, if we go back to the schedule, today what I'm gonna, so we then did on Monday installing WordPress to your server, excuse me, and setting up and customizing WordPress options. Now today we are going to install and use a pre-developed WordPress theme and take a look at what that looks like and why or why not you would want to use something like that. Okay. As well, then we are going to talk about what plugins are, and we are going to install one today. One of the more popular ones that is out there is, if you go to my contact page, I am using a plugin called Contact Form 7, and we'll talk about installing Contact Form 7 and getting that up and rolling using shortcode. So you'll understand what shortcode is as well. So let's go to my script. So installing and using a pre-developed WordPress theme. So basically, let's talk about what a theme is, right? So what is a theme? Well, if we go to my dashboard here, and I go under Appearance, Themes. I have one theme, okay? Students of Premium Design Works. I'm not going to read that description out loud, and probably should change those descriptions. But one way, shape, or form, what we are running on is, so if I then go to here in Dreamweaver, under the WordPress SP16, excuse me, sorry, coughing. We then, in this WordPress box or WordPress folder, you can start seeing a lot of the core files right here. And again, the WP config file is one of those core files. If we then go under the WP content folder, what was the first rule of WordPress core, Jonathan?
Don't mess with WordPress core.
What was the second rule of WordPress core?
Don't mess with WordPress core.
Right. Do not ever edit WordPress core. Right. Just because then I would also argue that don't ever edit plugins either. Even their style sheets. I'll talk to you about how to get around editing styles or overriding styles in in those style sheets. But if I basically then in the WP content folder, right now I have a folder for plugins. I also have a folder for themes. So if I go to then the remote server, right, as well under WordPress 16, WP content, plugins, and themes. So I am going to work off the remote here, because when I actually add a plugin into here, we will see it show up in that folder structure. So at this point in time, under our themes folder, WordPress then, when we downloaded it from WordPress.org and uploaded it and installed it to our server, it then came prepackaged with 3 different themes. Okay, so again, what themes are? So if I go log into my WordPress Spring, did anybody try to hack into my WordPress Spring 16? Nobody? Good. So if I went and logged into my admin, right, and then I went and visited the site. Again, what I did on Monday was I changed from the default WordPress 2016 theme to the default WordPress 2015 theme. Okay, so if I then go back into the dashboard and I go under Appearance and then go under here under Themes, here is where then we can update the theme if we want to. We can customize the theme if we want to. We can change from, okay, I have 2015 active. Let's say I want to change and activate 2014. So I can go and activate that. And then now that that is activated and I visit the sites, now my site looks like this. So one way, shape, or form, what a theme is basically a theme is that shell, right, that then digs into WordPress core and into the WordPress database to present your information. Okay? So in terms of how content is displayed in WordPress, right? Again, if I go here to my lecture for today, and now that I'm logged in, if I say edit page, here in the WordPress dashboard, we are looking at, one could call this a rich text editor, right? Or I think it's called the WordPress Write panel. I can't remember what it's called, but one way, shape, or form, it is then the place within WordPress that if I were to say, right? And I went and I edited the text on this page. And I said, I went over here then and hit the update button. And I went and viewed page. Right? Nothing changed with my theme. I'm not editing my theme. So I am not editing any raw HTML that has anything to do with the look and feel of my theme, right? Now, if we go back and edit this page, here in the right panel, or the text editor, I'm just going to always refer to it as the text editor, because way back when, when you were building content management systems all on your own, we referred to them as rich text editors, right? And that's kind of stuck with me. Now, if I go to the text panel tab here in the rich text editor, then you can see that there is HTML presented here that then gets displayed into the content area of my page, okay? Notice, though, that you don't see any p tags around the paragraph that I just made, nor any paragraph p tags around this paragraph. Do you find that annoying, Mark?
The p tags around everything?
That there aren't any p tags in the text editor in this view, the code editor.
But it'll add them.
Yeah, it'll add.
Yeah.
They're there,
yeah.
But you don't see them here.
Pictures, it's really.
I kind of find it annoying. Yeah. You know what we should do, you and me, Mark, is just every now and again have conversations like this during class. And they'll be like, when are they going to stop? When are they going to get back to it? I like your style, man. I wish I could have tagged you in that photo. That's all I'm saying. So I'm going to erase that. But if we were talking about, okay, well, how does the theme work, right? If I went to the good old GitHub, Emerson Kula, and I went to Students of Premium Design Works, here then is the theme for Students of Premium Design Works. So if I went back to Dreamweaver right now and I opened up the 2015 theme, okay, these then are all the files associated with the theme. So they've put their own CSS into, or their some CSS into its own folder, some icons into its own folder, some includes, some JavaScript, some other language stuff. I've always wondered what a .pot file was, right? It's always struck me as kind of funny. Does anybody know what that stands for? Seriously. Every now and again, I'll see a .pot file. Doesn't matter. You only see them in Colorado and Washington anyway. Thank you, Anna. Thank you. So in here then, there's the index.php file for this theme under 2015. Likewise, if we go back to my GitHub, right, I also have a scripts folder that contains some stuff. I have an images folder that contains a lot of things for my theme, fonts, etc. And in here then are, and we'll talk later on about what are the files of the theme and how does it all work together. But what I'm going to show you right now is if I open up page.php. Page.php is the general multi-purpose template for, can everybody guess? Pages. Right. Okay. Single.php is the general purpose file for postings. So if I opened up page.php like I just did, this function right here called the content is the function then that will go and grab everything out of this rich text editor or text editor, however you want to say it. And if I then go back to my theme here, you can see that I have the begin post, div ID post, get the ID of the post, class, post box, an h2 tag, the content, end div, end post. Okay? So if I then went and looked at, where'd it go? View this page. Let's go to this page. We update it. And I went and viewed this page then. All of that text I went to inspect this. So here is div ID post. It wrote in 10,999 class post box, the h2 tag, then starting off with a paragraph tag, so on and so forth, so on and so forth, all the way through the end of that div tag, which basically is down here, that paragraph, okay? But the outside, if you will, the shell, if you will, gets put together differently. So just like if we were here and we looked at this hello world posting and we went to edit it, here's the title. Welcome to WordPress. This is your first post. Edit, delete it, etc. Is there an H in it or is it J-O-N?
J-O-N.
Spell it right?
Yep.
And I updated that and I viewed post. Again, it is going to present itself here, okay? So let's say I go back to the dashboard and I say appearance, themes, and I have 2014 active, and I'm going to go back and activate 2015. I'm going to visit sites. Here is then, if I click on that one posting, there it is. So this is never going to change. This is going to be what is then put into the database. So if we then look into the database, where SQL. 70 SP 16. So here are then all the tables associated with the database, okay, in that database. And if I go to WP Posts, that right there is the post content that then gets filled into your theme using the content function. This post title then is what gets filled into if you're using the title function or any variation of that. So again, if we go back to the Dreamweaver and we go back to WordPress 16, themes, and I'm going to go and open up single, because at this point in time I was looking at a posting, and again, don't worry, I'll go over all the template files and stuff at a later date. But if I open up single, if I look for, let's see if they're using that function. Okay. They probably have that. Let's see how it looks. Start the loop, while have post, get template part content. Template part content. 2015, a single, the content. There is that function, right? That then puts the content into the theme. Does that make sense? Sort of? In other words, your theme is basically your shell that then you can go in and with all these pages. For instance, if I go into my sidebar file, you will see things for like my social icons, some other things. You will also see code that says, hey, get dynamic sidebar 1, get dynamic sidebar 2, etc. Okay? But if you want to then, and this is where you can go ahead and do this along with me, if you have, how many of you have your thing open right now? Okay, good. How many of you have just ignored what I was saying and kind of read ahead and went and already put in your own theme? No? Okay. So what we can do is we need to download a pre-developed theme and install it. So if we go here to the WordPress theme directory, again, I should be opening things in a new window. This is where you can see their 2016 theme. You can see, Flexi. I like Flexi. When I was originally doing this demo, I thought I was using a theme called Betsy that I downloaded until I actually realized it was called Bestie, not Betsy. Thought that was funny. So Flexi, why not Flexi? I'm going to download that. I'm going to download that to my desktop. Okay. We can also, let's do a search for, this is a good search. You ready, Mark? Best free WordPress theme. Ooh, look, it's already its own search term. People are already searching for that, right? So you can go to a whole lot of places and download free themes. There's an advertisement for Wix in case you want to change your mind and go with the Wix website, right? The one that we used, let's see if he broke this one too. Hi, Lauren, we're at your website. And you broke this one too. That poor guy. Should we go see what's wrong with it real quick, Mark?
No.
No?
You've already warned us.
I know, but I'm going to log into it anyway. Yeah, same thing, man. The blog is displaying like this. Here's why you may not want to go with the pre-existing theme. Is because when your client goes to update it, poor guy, I feel bad for Lauren. And we haven't had a chance. Why aren't you fixing this? You should email him and say, hey man, I saw the Demer and the Living Smart is suffering from the same stuff. Have you downloaded the WP Bakery thing so I can, let's see what's wrong with it. Let's see if I can remember my password.
You could get one of those passwords.
Shh, I don't need one. It's a fun game I play. Nope, that's not it. See, that's a much more fun game to play, Mark. So if we go to plugins, is he having the same WP Bakery? No, look at that. Something went wrong with his theme. But if we go to appearance, themes, we purchased this theme called South Central. From, grade labs. Do you have time to fix that stuff for him? Seriously, it's a serious question. Because if you do, you should and build.
Okay.
Or build being all build. So this is where Lauren, documentation. Bought this theme called South Central here. That looks really sexy. in my opinion, pretty bloated, right? But nonetheless, we used that theme then to basically produce this site. The artistguide.net site, which is probably still broken. Something happened with the slider. There's no opacity setting. Something broke. And we don't know what it is. Spending too much time on that. One way, shape, or form, though, my point is that you can buy pre-existing themes. Now, Mark, again, what's your opinion on editing a pre-existing theme?
I think it's a fantastic idea. If you want to spend 3 months.
If you want to spend way more time than the project allows editing a pre-existing theme versus building it yourself.
And then have it mysteriously break every time you update it.
Is that happening to you too?
Not yet. No, I've forbidden them from ever updating the code.
Right. But in this case, every time the client updates it, it's breaking. I had a client the other day, 29 Design. They're over on Pine Street. And they're using a pre-existing theme that, again, is pretty sexy and is nice, can be nice for a business that is starting out, And quite honestly, if you're thinking to yourself, well, yeah, but how am I going to make money doing that, right? There is money to be made in just using a pre-existing WordPress theme and uploading and managing content. There's lots of money to be made because they don't know how to do it, and you will, okay? But one way, shape, or form, this client sent me an email the other day saying, hey, Mike, the theme has an update to it. Should we update it? And I said, well, the risk is that you might break some stuff. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And she said, fair enough, that we're not going to screw with it then. Okay. So let's now go back. Yeah, you had a question.
Yeah, because when I logged into my when I logged into my WordPress, it went OMG, update me now. I didn't do anything. And they gave back, there are updates available, please do the update. Let's
see, so are you talking about this?
Yes.
WordPress 4.5 is available, please update now, or here's what I'm saying. Yes, WordPress updates all the time. Typically, a WordPress core update is not going to break anything.
Okay.
Typically, a WordPress core update is not going to break anything. However, I would test it before you update it, and I would back it up before you update it, always, right? So that's where if you are working with a local environment, you can test it on the local environment first before you update your server environment. And I would also recommend that for the plugins, etc. Although a plugin like Akismet, Akismet is the plugin to control spam comments. That one, how many of you are getting this in your dashboard right now? How many of you went and just updated? How many of it broke your thing? Great. Then let's update that now. It shouldn't, like I said, updating core shouldn't ever really break things because they're never taking away from it, they're adding to it, right? Plugins. Install plugins. Now update. Okay. So anyway, let's go back to the appearance themes menu. Now that we have, in other words, there are a couple of ways to add a new theme to your site. One is you can go here, select Add New, and search for one. So there's Flexi, right? So I could go and install Flexi, and Flexi should do whatever I need it to do. Or you can upload a theme where, since I've already downloaded Flexi as a zip file, I can choose that file from my desktop. Flexi, open, install now. And I can do a live preview. And when you do a live preview, you get some of this stuff over here that if the theme actually works with all this stuff, you can edit stuff over here. For us, though, if we are building our own themes, right? The goal of building a theme, or the goal of a content management system, is, I've heard the theory of give the client enough freedom to upload words and pictures. Does that make sense? Don't give the client the freedom to all to hell, if you know what I'm saying, Jonathan, right? So if you have a really, really robust theme like this, that there is all the WYSIWYG ways of editing the colors and that kind of stuff, guess what they're going to do? What Jonathan just said, right? Basically what Jonathan just said is they're not going to know what they're doing, and they are going to just change things to hot pink all the time. Ask Bree about that. Okay, Amy.
So I think I missed a step. So I downloaded it. It's downloaded, and I haven't unzipped it yet. Am I supposed to put it up on my server?
You're not supposed to. You're not supposed to unzip it. So what I just did is, so if I go back here, I chose the zip file that then I installed.
So I need to put the zip file up on my server.
You did put the zip file on your server, or let me answer it like this. There's 3 different ways to install a theme. Okay. 1, you browse through the featured themes or the popular, etc., that is in their database of themes, and you, let's say, I have to do one with a good name. Princess. Sounds good to me. I can install the Princess theme. Okay. And I can say activate. And now when I visit the site, I think I might just have to use this for the demo.
I got it. Because I actually went through your website to look at the themes. But if I go through my WordPress install. Right.
So again, 3 different ways to upload, 3 different ways to activate a theme. 1, pick from their popular, etc., within the dashboard. 2, go to, in other words, if we were, what I did with that leveraging smart, again, if I said high grade labs, South Central, if I bought this theme and downloaded it, I would download it as a zip file that then I would, through the dashboard here, go to themes, add new, and upload a zip file. That's way number 2 to add a new theme. Now, 3rd way to add a theme. Who can guess?
Move it manually into the folder for themes.
Correct. So now that I have put Flexi and Princess, right? I have 1, I accessed Princess by just browsing through the dashboard. 2, Flexi, I went and downloaded from somewhere as a zip file and uploaded it as a zip file through the dashboard. 3, if I then did this, So if I went and downloaded my demo theme that we're going to build together, or the one that I built as a demo for this class, and I saved it to the desktop, unzipped it, and it is called WEB170 Demo Master. So if I put that there, oh, no. If I then copy, went to my O drive, WEB170, HTML, WordPress Spring 16, WP content, themes, pasted in here, went back to and looked at both my remote and local files. Now, locally, I have WEB170 Demo Master in my local themes folder. So if I then put that into my themes folder remotely, went back here into my Spring 16 demo, refreshed, and went back to the root of the themes, there is that demo that I built. So that is way number 3. And then I can say activate. And what I originally built for this class is now up and running, except for the sample page has suffered the menu glitch. Oh, the menu glitch. Should I tell them about the menu glitch now or later? Later. Yeah. Yeah.
Let us suffer before you actually.
Well, the menu glitch is this. If and when you ever upload a new theme that you have built, possibly, right? You have to, in the dashboard, have your menus, whatever you've set up in your menu system, to use the labeling system that you used in the theme. So thereby you have to, I'll just show you right now. Why not? Mike, what the hell are you talking about? I'm not going to show you right now. Okay, I'll show you. Because I just don't really care anymore. Under menus, then I would have to, if I have home and sample page, where is the locations, edit your, yeah, I'd have to create a new menu and edit the locations. It's going to be a little more complex than I thought.
I was just going to say, in general, really good thing that you can be doing right now when you're first starting this, especially when you get into doing your own theme, is just start making your own list of steps that you're taking, because you're going to have to do it again. You're going to forget everything. So, and you have lovely guides on your site.
Ooh, you know what you might want to do is just go back and watch Mike's videos.
Well, if you want
and do it along with
if you
it.
want
Again.
to sit through all of it.
Yeah, I see your point there.
You can't fast
Think
forward.
about Bree, right?
Fast forward.
Think about Bree right now, right?
Yeah.
She's like, oh, dude, they're talking about me again. Really?
If she's even watching.
If
She
she's
didn't
even
watch- She
watching?
didn't watch last
And
night.
she didn't. Yeah, she's behind. Bree. So I'm going to go back to themes, and I have to use Princess. I'm sorry. I just have to use Princess as my demo theme and visit site right now. And right now, Princess is up and running. And hold on, Amy. And now that Princess is up and running, if we go and look at Princess, that just cracks me up if we go and look at Princess. Why it cracks me up? It just does. So if we go and look under the hood of Princess, and we go to index.php, which is the home page, here is some code that then somewhere in there, it is then, if I posted, get template part, content, blog small, etc. So it is then pulling this posting, and it will now, a lot of blogs, like I said, uses the home page for the feed page, like yeah, Bree spends more time reading my Facebook page than she does watching the videos. So here on my blog, I then have the feed of all my postings come into the home page, if you will. So this is where, like what I showed you in the settings the other day, for the reading settings, my front page displays my latest postings. I have not changed it to be a static regular page. Okay. Moving on back here. So let's see if I covered everything in this lecture. Because I'm just at this point in time totally improvising on what I think I'm supposed to be talking about. Installing a pre-developed theme, you can go to Appearance, Add New. Let's see if I got everything right, Mark, is what I'm saying. We can choose to upload a theme. From here, we can browse a selected theme. Here's just the zip file. Install your theme, activate your theme. Let's preview. Why do I even write this stuff up anymore if I just am gonna, anyway. All right, so that's themes, or using a pre-developed WordPress theme. Now, next thing we want to talk about is plugins. Well, what are plugins? Let's put it like this. Remember when I said to you guys that you can do anything in WordPress that can use PHP and MySQL, right? Okay. What a lot of people do is they do all of that code work that then can integrate PHP MySQL with WordPress as its little separate entity, right? Its own little application that then will use. So let's say your plugin needs to add a table to your database or something, right? Then it will use the database login from your config file to open up your database and add a table to your database. So basically, think of a plugin as its own self-contained entity that you can snap into any WordPress environment, right? So if I then let me show you kind of behind the scenes of let's see, now I need to go and new folder, new folder, folder, new, That's the one. So here I am now going to look at my remote server for my business site. Here in the WP content folder, then if I go into plugins, here you can see plugins such as Rainbow Highlight, WP Supercache, WP Migrate DB, jQuery Lightbox, DB Backup, the Ultimate Coming Soon page, Simple Staff List, etc. Okay. Now, unfortunately, the Simple Staff List one, when we were doing it for the Jet City, or when I was doing it for Jet City Improv, I had to edit it, which I wish I did not have to do. But one way, shape, or form, these little simple entities right here, also known as plugins, for instance, this Rainbow Highlight, right? Or this Page Navi. So if we look at then, whoops. premiumbw.com, and we go to this where then, hey, all this code right here looks like it's formatted GitHub style. Well, that right there is this plugin called Rainbow Highlight. Okay, so let's say I want to do anything to do with WordPress, right? I could then, you know, if I wanted to search for Lightbox plugins or any other function that you think you want to do in WordPress, I'll bet you there is a solution already written out there in the form of a plugin. Now, does that mean that that plugin that you get is the best plugin to use or the solution for you? No. Does it mean that it is? No, right? So, but something like this Rainbow Highlight then, if I then go under my plugins tab, this is then where I'll see a list of, you guessed it, plugins. I know.
Clever.
Clever, right? If you can't say something nice, what was it? Say something clever and devastating. So this is where, for instance, remember when I was talking about if you then change to a new theme or you redevelop a new theme and you need to use different sizes of images, right? Well, how many image sizes are default out of the box WordPress? Oh, what, Mike's quizzing us now? We don't like that. 3 plus the original size.
Yeah.
So when you then upload a piece of media, right, which we'll get to later, I have set the large size to 800, 300 for medium, 220 for thumbnail. What if I redevelop a new theme though, and I change those sizes? Well, currently, then these sizes for large, medium, and thumbnail, every time you upload an original size image, which I typically will upload a 1024 by 768 image, right, will then make those 3 files 800, 300, and 220. What if you change your medium size image to be 400? It will still go look for and use the old 300 medium size. So what you have to do is regenerate those sizes if you change the size. Just because you change the size does not mean it's going to generate a new file for you. Does that make sense? Ish? Who have I lost? A couple of you. Let's just say it like this. Remember it like this, Adam. If you go and change any of these sizes, you are going to have to go and reconvert or remake or make new files based off of the new sizes. So therefore, you then might use a plugin called Regenerate Thumbnails. That if I want to use it, I would activate it, go to Tools, because sometimes plugins put their settings under Tools, sometimes they put them under Settings. Sometimes it's Tools, sometimes it's Settings. It's a mystery to know when it's going to be when. So I'm going to go to Regenerate Thumbnails. And here is where I could say, regenerate all thumbnails. And I can farm another bar here. But basically what it's doing is it is going and grabbing the original sized image, comparing it to the media settings that I have set up, and making new sizes appropriately to then be used. Does that make sense? So,
Something you probably don't want to do over and over again.
right. I probably shouldn't be doing it here.
I was just going to ask you that. This is your site.
Mhm.
Are you screwing something up right now?
I might be.
Okay. We'll find out, I guess.
We'll find out.
Is there an undo button?
I could abort resizing images. How about I do that?
I think you should do that.
Well, that must not be right.
It's mystery.
Fingers crossed.
Just created another job for Mark.
Exactly, don't you?
Is it saving the original size image as well, or is it just creating previews?
It's going and looking for the original size image. Let me show you what it's doing. In the WP content folder, there is a folder also called Uploads. That this is where all the photos that you upload through WordPress lives. Okay? So therefore, if I go to 216, 04, 03, 01, oh look, it's probably making new file sizes for me. Let's find the size. Featured. It's got to be something in 2008, right? Backers blog. Here we go. Blog, Merriweather. So I uploaded that file through my WordPress dashboard. And at one point in time, I had 620 by 375, 620 by 354, so on and so forth, right? So basically, here's the one right there. So when I change sizes to 800 by whatever, that Regenerate Thumbnails has then made a new image size out of the original one. So originally, when I uploaded, let's say this one, right, it then made 3 different sizes, probably this 150 by 150, probably this 300, and then probably this 620 or this 620. At one point in time, then I did the Regenerate Thumbnails thing, right? And because my new size that I needed to use was 220, it basically, and here's why I'm confident it didn't mess me up. It didn't delete any of the old sizes. Right. It just went and accessed this one, compared it to my media library settings, and made new ones. So if I want to then use size large, if I said size large in my code, size large would then go and compare, go and look to my media settings and see, oh, size large is the 800 size one. Well, there's the 800 size one that I'm going to use. That's how it works.
That's good. If you try to go from like 700 to 1,000 pixels, that's going to JPEG the hell out of it, right?
But it's not going to. In other words, this one right here, Blog Merriweather, right? Why is there not an 800 size for this one?
Because that's your original.
Because my original was smaller than 800. So it didn't go and blow one up. It just went and found the original and made the smaller ones.
I see.
Right. So there were some that I uploaded at original size at like 640 or whatever. And then we're getting too down the rabbit hole of just this one plugin. But the whole point of this is that's an example of what plugins can do, right? So if then we want to take a look at, so here's the Regenerate Thumbnails plugin. And all this code then will snap in with the WordPress interface because the author of this has done it like that. Does that make sense? So there are tons and tons of plugins. The one that we're going to do today is the Contact Form 7 one. Okay? The Contact Form, so Amy, what was your question?
So I actually have two. The first one is, with this plugin, it's generating these photo sizes, but is it affecting your code so that those photo sizes?
No.
So all it's doing is making the picture?
Correct.
Okay.
All it's doing is going to the original size image, comparing that to what the media sizes are in the database currently, and if those files do not exist, it's going to make new ones.
Okay.
That's all it's doing.
And then you're responsible for sort of changing the codes that those image names are the correct image.
Correct. So in other words, if you wanted to say, so what I said was image size large, right? So if I went and looked at in my WP content, themes, here is my current Premium Design Works one. If I then looked at functions, if I am ever doing something like this, get the post thumbnail, size thumbnail, it is then going to go and look at thumbnails 220. If I had all changed this, if whatever doesn't exist, right, again, we're getting down to the rabbit hole a little bit, but one way, shape, or form, it'll compare it to the media sizes. From what I understand is if there's not a new media size file, it will use the old one that was previously there, okay? But one way, shape, or form, that is a plugin. So another plugin that, like I said, what we're going to do is if we visit site here, this is one of the most widely used plugins, Contact Form 7. So if you want a contact form on your website, what plugin should you use? Contact Form 7. That's what I'm saying, right? So let's see how it works then. So if I go and edit this page here, and I go to my contact page, give us a shout to see what we can do for you. This is shortcode. Okay, we'll discuss shortcode a little more at length down the line, but one way, shape, or form, shortcode is a way of putting functions into the text editor. In this text editor, you cannot put in PHP code.
It's not going to do anything.
Oh. that worth it, Mark?
Yep.
Is it worth it? Okay.
The student now becomes a
The text editor, yeah, it's not gonna boot it out of there. It won't utilize PHP code. So, no, not as far as I know.
You don't even have the option of putting in your own contact form. You need to use a plugin.
True and not true. I could hard code a contact form.
Two extensions are not related in any way, shape, or form.
I thought it was PPT.
They use both.
Oh,
That's
all right.
Microsoft.
So here is the contact form 7 file. It then uses other files. Here are the JavaScript. Here is the CSS, right? So basically, it's an all-encapsulated little ball of wax that does everything you need it to do. Now, you could build your own plugin and use shortcode like this, right? So, and we're kind of going down the rabbit hole, but we got a little bit of time because we end at 7. So if I go back to my theme and I'm saying functions, and let's say this featured case study right here, okay? So let's say I needed to use something like this where if we go to any of my services pages, like search engine optimization, I bring in this case study, okay? Well, how I bring this case study into this page is by using shortcode. So basically what I'm doing, Mary, is, yes, I'm utilizing PHP and or JavaScript if I need it, but I'm not putting PHP or JavaScript into the rich text editor. Instead, I'm saying, use the case study function, go get case study ID 2051 to put there. Well, what does that mean? Here's the shortcode thing that says case study. So that's the function. Okay, well, what is the alias? Or let's say that is the alias then for the function get featured case study. Here is the function get featured case study. Pass the attachments attribute, or the ATTS, which stands for attachment ID, basically, attribute, which that then equals the ID. So I am basically then saying via shortcode, case study ID, pass the ID as a parameter or an argument through this function, and then write out a section tag, get the title, which equals the post title, get the, where is it? Case image, which case image equals get the post thumbnail, thumbnail size, so on and so forth. Does that make sense? So that's how you can use, instead of plugins, you can do everything in your functions file, make a short code for it, and put that in your rich text editor. So think of a plugin as a really huge function or set of functions that then you can utilize. Does that make sense? Fabulous. So therefore, then if we go back here and I go back to my contact page and we have this short code contact form 1. Because I have contact form 7 plugin installed, it then, instead of putting it under settings or tools, it's made its own navigation item. Sometimes plugins will do that. You never know, Al.
It's a mystery.
It's a mystery. You just have to enable a plugin or
Yes.
activate, find a plugin, upload it and activate it, and then just think to yourself, you place bets with your friends of where it's going to show up.
New drinking game?
You're drinking it.
Totally at the end of the quarter.
So yeah, totally. So here then, I have a set of contact forms that if I go to edit contact form 1, here is contact form 1. I put in a thing for text, or your name, your email, your subject, your message, or CAPTCHA, send message. Again, it's this really standard contact form. You guys ready to go find contact form 7 and then how many of you have already uploaded and put in contact form 7 to your page while I was talking about nothing?
Kind of.
I haven't activated it yet.
Yeah.
Good times. Good times in the WordPress class. So I'm going to go back to my princess theme. This is just awesome.
You get to call the theme princess.
I'm going to call the theme princess. Now, what I don't have right now is a page called contact. But let's go to pages real quick. Oh, look at that. I have sample page. So let's just temporarily put contact form 7 in sample page. So when you install WordPress, right, it will give you a sample page. So let's go edit that. Oh, look at this. Now I'll just leave it alone. Just leave it sample page. I don't want to go screwing with stuff, right? So in sample page, it has sample content, right? But let's go to plugins now. And if we say add new, same thing. We can upload a plugin as a zip file. We can search for a plugin through the dashboard, or we can do what else with the plugin? Put it in the plugins folder manually, just like we did with our themes. This time around, let's just search for contact form 7, because this is probably realistically the way you're going to look for plugins. Contact form 7, install now, activate. And here we have contact form 7. We can go to settings then, which again, it should give us this navigation item over here for contact, and it should already come with contact form 1. So if we go to edit contact form 1, here is where it defaults by putting it in a P tag, text, your name, email, your name, etc. In other words, if we want to put in some kind of other form field, what other form field might we want in here? Phone number? All right, sounds fair. I'm going to say P, your phone, right? Then I am going to say, let's see what number is. Nope, that's not what I want. Text. Required? Nah. Name, let's hold on. Let's see what the other ones are named. Your name, your email. Yeah, so let's, your phone. And to make things consistent, you phone, your phone. What's your digits? Text, your phone, default value, no default value, everything else. Here then is what it does. It will kick out this little thing, text your phone, we can insert tag, and now, and just to be consistent with everything else, we are, even though I would do it a little bit differently, now, in terms of this plugin, we also then have the message body from your name, your email, subject, your subject, message body. If we actually want that phone number sent along, right, we would also have to then do this. Your phone is missing. Copy that. In the message body, your name, your email, your phone. We could save that. So let's just say that's our temporary contact form that we can do whatever we want with later. I'm just going to leave it in here for the rest of eternity while I'm doing this. But now I actually need to have this contact form appear in a page, right? So that's where, if I go back to contact forms, that contact form 1, that is the short code that I would want to put into the page. So I'm going to copy that. I'm going to go to my pages, all pages. I'm going to go back to sample page. Again, WordPress is broken into pages and postings. So if I go back to sample page and I edit sample page, I'm going to delete some of this stuff. And then I'm going to say, contact me. And I'm going to put that short code in there. Now, if I update and I view said page, so again, you can view said page here, there, or there, there, or there, there, or there, there, or there. View page. Here now is that's just the name. Don't ask.
I did not.
Your email, Mike.
Hard to see from back here. Does it make testing difficult?
It does. It was an inside drinking joke a long time ago. My buddy and I were playing darts years and years and years ago, back in our alcoholic 20s. And how we came up with test pickles, I don't remember. But one way, shape, or form, we came up with test pickles. Pickles that we were testing. So, that's the last I'm going to talk about that. Yay, it's been sent. So if and when I go check my email, I should have an email sitting there. Let's see if we've covered everything. What is a plugin? Installing a plugin, contact form 7. I'm totally not even following my lectures anymore, Mark. I mean, I am. I'm not even looking at them.
They're still good at ones.
Yeah. Using your plugin. We're just checking to see I've covered everything in my lecture. That's what I do after my lecture. Go back and see if I covered everything. Yep.
Nothing.
That's it for today. Thank you. Thank you very much. I'll be here all quarter. So to close out today's lecture, this is for Anna.
Yay!
This is an actual anti-weed commercial.
Right?
Pause it.
I was saying it was long.
Stanislav.
Have you never seen this?
Jason, could you pass this on, please, darling? Mm. Mm. Jason, the salt. Mm.
This is an actual campaign in Australia.
Stanislav.
So I told her she could not wear socks and sandals out of the house anymore.
That's so funny. What do you think? Stanislav.
Stanislav. I want one.
I don't understand why it's not hanging out with all the other stoners.
I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. Oh, did it change it to the thing again?
I'm so glad you recorded that.
Yeah, but I didn't even, it changed. Oh man, hopefully